I'm Christine. I'm the owner of Rebel Teahouse down here in Decatur. So Rebel Teahouse, actually, during the pandemic, I really wanted to sort of find something different to do because I was surrounded by so much sadness being an ICU nurse. And I think that one of the happiest moments during the COVID pandemic was the time that I spent with my family, sitting out in the parking lot, social distancing, and we're just sipping on bubble tea and we get to talk about our day. So I wanted to bring that to the community and give them something similar to share with their loved ones. Yeah, the pandemic was so crazy. So I was a travel ICU nurse during the pandemic. I thought that I would end up opening up my own business one day, sometime during the pandemic, but I didn't think that until it hit. I wasn't able to see my family because I was in the ICU. I couldn't, see my grandma. My mom lived with my grandma. I couldn't meet my newborn niece, and that's when it sort of hit me that I wanted to sort of kind of venture off and do something where I could celebrate life rather than, having to help family members move through the grief of losing a loved one. Yeah, so actually our logo is a little dinosaur holding a boba cup. I knew for sure that I wanted to make clear that boba was what we serve, but additionally, it's actually inspired by, Rex from Toy Story. He's actually one of my favorite characters because he's so soft inside, but he it's supposed to be this ferocious beast. So I really resonated with his character, and I asked the designer to sort of make a logo that would represent that kind of feel, whereas even though we're very ferocious, at the same time we're pretty soft and fun at the same time. So I think one of the most important things after you get your logo, in branding terms, right? Not starting the business in general. It's actually not your business name, but it's actually the colors that you want to be able to have a brand palette, a color palette that speaks to, your culture and also is something that the community finds very approachable. So we chose black and pink, and whenever I chose black and pink because I love those colors, I love the K-pop group Blackpink, but at the same time I was like, oh my gosh, I hope we don't look like Victoria's Secret because that is not what we're going for. So it took us a lot of work to sort of kind of figure out, what kind of shade we need to use, where we need to place these colors, how we need to place it next to each other so it doesn't look like we're more risque brand. Yeah, that was a challenge for sure. But I really enjoyed the branding aspect in general because you get to find out who the company really is, who the brand really is, and you have to figure that out, right? It's hard because you don't have a franchise to sort of kind of show you the way and, hey, this is on brand, this is off brand. You sort of have to make those decisions yourself. As a small business, you're the one making all of the choices with marketing, with branding. So you have to take a step back and really look at the bigger picture, and it's okay, does this design fit what we're going for? We had problems in the past where I'm is this too cutesy for us? Is this too elegant for us, right? So it took us a long time to find out who we were. But once we realized, okay, we're a little bit edgy, we're a little bit, more community-based, we can look a little bit messy, but at the same time, be a little bit softer. I think that's when we were okay, we got it. So if you don't know what boba is, it's these little brown pearls. They come in your drink as a topping a little bit. You've probably heard of popping boba as well, but whenever we refer to boba, it's usually the chewy little balls. I like to steal this description that I heard from TikToker, which is that it's a brown sugar flavored gummy bear. I think that's the perfect description for what boba is. But yeah, we get people in our shop who don't know what boba is, and we introduce it to them and they fall in love with it and they come back over and over again. Then we get some people who are like, oh, I don't really like eating my drink, and we totally get that too. So yeah, if you sip too hard, it can hit the back of your throat and you're like, oh my gosh, I was not expecting that. But yeah, it's definitely something that came from Taiwanese culture, but it's been popularized all over Asia, and at this point it's getting really, really popular in the States as well. But yeah, for boba, it's a part of Asian childhood almost. I just remember after graduation, after getting Korean barbecue, after like eating out with the family at like a dim sum restaurant, or even, you know, at Nam Phuong, right? We would go and get boba together, and it's always a great event because then I'm craving a winter melon milk tea, but I really want a taro milk tea, and my sister could get one drink and I can get the other, and we just get to share all of that. So we just came up on our second year. Yeah, we just celebrated our second year anniversary. It was really big. It was a lot of fun. And I can't wait for another amazing year. We're celebrating Christmas right now, as you can see, the shop decorations. So yeah, it's been a long journey, everything that we've learned the past 2 years though. So, Rebel Teahouse in 5 years. I hope to have another location. I'm looking hard for a really good location right now, but we would, I guess, like in terms of the future, I want to do a little bit more than just Rebel. Not that I don't love Rebel, but I want to also try my hand at opening up a coffee shop maybe. After like 3 or 5 Rebel Tea Houses, when we sort of kind of refine our brand and figure out what it is we are and who we are, I'm thinking about going off and trying to figure out how to open up a different kind of concept too. I think that we meet a lot of people, and I think the biggest challenge for me is trying to make sure that I keep up with those connections, if that makes sense. I know how valuable it is to talk to people and how valuable it is to like understand and know other people, but I think as the days go on and as we have plumbing issues, as we have supplier, you know, with food supply issues, as we have scheduling and staffing problems, I think we sort of kind of forget that like, hey, you know, there are people out there who are excited to be here, who are excited to meet us, who are excited to experience the brand. So I would say that the biggest challenge is trying to keep that in mind, that we're here to meet other people and to collaborate and to sort of kind of share who we are with them just as much as they're wanting to share who they are with us. I think maybe like different advice, maybe 2 if that's okay. The first one with branding, I think it's okay to make mistakes with your brand and to just keep pushing forward. Like it doesn't have to be perfect the first time. The more you mess up, the more you'll find, okay, this is my style. I think it goes almost the same for artists. I'm not sure because I'm not really good at drawing myself. That's what Tiff does. But yeah, I think that's my first piece of advice. And then my second one is you always have time for people. So make sure you take those breaks in the day where you set off time to talk to your family, where you sort of are able to connect with your staff a little bit better, learn more about them, and also talk to the people who come into your shop. They're there to get something great, and not just drink-wise, but like not food-wise either, but out of the experience that they have. So I think making it worthwhile for them would return a lot of happiness to you and your business. You have to like realize whenever you're in a pinch and you need help, the people who are going to help you is going to be the community that you've built. And then at the same time, if they're in a pinch and there's something that you could offer, how great is that exchange, you know? So.